down, 1 to go. Manchester United beat Barcelona 2-1 at Old Trafford and progress further into Europa League. Welcome back to Red Devils TV, and this is your Manchester United versus Barcelona match reaction. So let's just get right into it. So pretty much first half shocking, second half world class. And it just shows that you can't count Manchester United out anymore. The mentality Erik ten Hag has inflicted onto these players to just not give up and fight till the very last whistle is just utter brilliance. And we're just a complete different team. And every match against a big team, I always have this doubt that are we going to go back to our losing ways? I need a Harry Potter spell to erase that from my memory, because we've got Erik ten Hag's Manchester United now, and it's just different gravy. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's creating nights like this that makes me proud to be a Manchester United fan. But let's just get right into it. First half, United just didn't look up to pace. Our build-up play wasn't the best. Bruno out wide, Sancho in the middle wasn't working. Weghorst up front was just too slow. Rashford wasn't impacting the game enough, and Rashford didn't really impact the game at all this game. But realistically, he's going to have an off game. He's been in the form of his life, so even though he didn't impact the game this game, he still was impactful by making runs and causing worry for Barcelona's defence. But the second half is where it all turned around. Even though we went in 1-0 down, within 2 minutes, Fred out of nowhere scores a goal. It was a brilliant pass by Bruno, who went back into the middle, and Fred just ran past Frankie de Jong and with his right foot kills it into the bottom right corner and lights up Old Trafford, erupts the Stretford end. It was a brilliant moment and a great way to start that second half. And as soon as that happened, United built momentum from that minute. And like I said, it was brilliant. And the fact that we were 1-0 down, I'm going to say was a penalty, by the way. That is my opinion. It was a penalty on Barcelona for Balde getting taken down by Bruno Fernandes. And it's one of them, obviously. It's a modern day penalty. And obviously the Barcelona play just goes down way too easy. And unfortunate for David De Gea, he did get a hand to Lewandowski's penalty, but it just wasn't a strong enough hand, and it went past him. But it was a very close attempt by David De Gea. But yeah, we actually did really well, actually, not to be more than 1-0 down at the end of this first half, because we just weren't up for it. We had a 72 pass completion rate at the end of the first half. United just weren't up for it at all. But the second half is where the game came to life, and it is a bit frustrating that United seem to be better coming out on the second half and playing much better. I do want to be like that from minute 1 to minute 90, but you know, Erik ten Hag, he's still new to the job. He is only 6, 7, 8 months into the job, and he can't inflict everything in his first season. But the fact that he's got us winning, the fact that he's got this correct mentality, this winning mentality inflicted into the squad, is absolutely brilliant. And the substitutions as well. Taking off Sancho was the right call. Taking off Weghorst at half-time was the right call. So, yeah, I just think that it was utter brilliance from Erik ten Hag, an absolute masterclass. But like I said, Fred, absolutely brilliant. And Antony came on with an instant impact, running at defenders. It shows that why he's been a massive miss due to his injury, because people say that Antony's overrated. He's the Brazilian Jack Grealish. He's like it's like when you buy a first class ticket and you end up in like the poor class on a plane. It's yeah. And for what I have to say is what Antony said was a shush. Shut down, you haters. It's his first season. He's adapting from the Eredivisie to the Premier League, which are two completely different leagues. And Antony is I think that's 6, 7 goals he's got now for Manchester United this season. For his first season, you've got to give him credit. And I just think he's going to get better and better and better. And like I've said, when Antony isn't in the squad, you can tell, because even if he doesn't impact a game, having that primary left foot, or his preferred left foot, in the attack creates a massive difference. He can do inverted crosses. He can go out on the left and do actual crosses. He likes to cut in his left foot and trick opponents. It's very good to have Antony back, and it's very good as well to have him available for the weekend final against Newcastle. But yeah, it was a brilliant game. And I mean, how did Antony's goal happen? Pretty much a beautiful run by it wasn't Rash, it was Garnacho, and then it went into the box. Garnacho took the shot, it deflected off a Barcelona player. Fred took a shot, it deflected off a Barcelona player, and then Antony, pretty much a placement power shot, just ends in the far corner, and ter Stegen's not saving that whatsoever. But let's get right into the player ratings. David De Gea, for me, he made it was the penalty. He did make a crucial save. I'm going to give him a 7 because he had that Jules Koundé chance in the second half where he forced her to touch it over the bar. So yeah, I'll give David De Gea a 7 out of 10. Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 as well. He didn't look too impressive, and getting taken off was the correct decision in my opinion. Varane, I've not even spoke about Varane yet. That goal line clearance at the end of the last 10 minutes, I can't even speak properly, but the last 10 minutes of Raphael Varane was absolutely brilliant when we had to defend. That goal line clearance was absolutely amazing. So yeah, Varane gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Lisandro Martinez gets an 8 for me. He was brilliant as always. He was aggressive, he was strong, he was resilient. Varane and Martinez is probably the best, is up there for one of the best centre-back pairings United probably had in their history. Now, I know I'm a young fan, and that might be disrespectful on the likes of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic and all the other great partnerships we've had over the years, but this is different. This is so much better than what we've had over the years, and like I've said many times, it just makes me proud to be a Manchester United fan. Luke Shaw, I'll give him a 7.5. I felt like he played better than average. He was really good, and the first half he played a few missed key passes, but for me, Shaw played really well, and I think he played better than a 7, so he gets a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Casemiro, I'm just glad we've got him back. He's so good, and there was a worry with the injury when Lewandowski went over the ball and pretty much just cleaned out Casemiro's ankle, and yeah, I'm just glad that he's okay. Also, just to mention Casemiro as well, when Bruno Fernandes booted that ball at Frankie de Jong and then the fight broke out, I'll put the picture on now, but Casemiro walks away from the fight like from the Crystal Palace situation. He's like, I'm not getting involved, this is not my opportunity to get another red card. So yeah, it's nice to know that Casemiro's learning. Fred's contender for man of the match. I don't even give Casemiro a rating. Casemiro gets 8 out of 10 for me. Fred is a contender for man of the match. I'm gonna have to give it his first half. Fred played like Fred. Fred just if you're an OG of this channel, you'll remember a comment I made about Fred where I said that he's not Brazilian, he's from Stoke. I want to check his passport. In the first half he was from Stoke, in the second half he remembered he was Brazilian, and yeah, it was absolutely brilliant from Fred. And yeah, all I can say is that he got the game going, he got that second half roaring, he got Old Trafford on the feet, and it was a brilliant performance from Fred, especially in that second half. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I felt like that the penalty was his fault, and whether you describe it as a soft penalty or a harsh penalty, I still think it's a penalty, especially in the modern game and the Europa League mainly, because there's a load, obviously in the Europa League and Champions League, Conference League, whichever, these European refs give fouls away for majority of everything, and it's gonna happen, and you can't be grabbing players like that. So Bruno Fernandes was very undisciplined, let's say, for making that challenge, but thankfully it didn't cost us. Thankfully we won the game, and I'm just ecstatic. Sancho is a difficult one, because I felt like that he just wasn't impacting the game enough, and for the cause of the game, I just felt like him playing centrally was just the wrong decision, and he should have been playing out wide. But for the game of this magnitude, I was saying that Sancho either needs to come off at half time or he needs to be moved back out to the left or right. And in the second half, we saw that when Rashford went through the middle after Antony was brought on, Sancho created that first goal for Fred by running on the left, passed it to Bruno with a beautiful pass to Fred, and Fred scores. So yeah, it just shows you that, for me, Sancho is much better on the wings and on the touchline. Pretty much, he loves to play out wide, and hopefully he just starts developing by running at these defenders, because Sancho is a dangerous player. He's very techy, he's very technical, and if he starts running defenders with confidence and thrill and just aggression like Garnacho does, he'll be a very dangerous player, because his skills alone are brilliant. So for me, I just feel like that Sancho, in the first half I would have given him an average 6, but for the chance he created for that first goal, he was really good, and especially until about the 60th to 65th minute when he got subbed off, I felt he really upped his game, so he gets a 7.5 for me. Weghorst, unfortunately I'm going to have to give him a 6. He just didn't impact the game at all, and I just feel sorry for him, because I want him to score. I want Weghorst to succeed, but it's so hard. He's just too slow, and I back him. I'm not criticising him. I've not got an agenda against Weghorst. His time will come, and once he scores that first goal, and I know he's already scored a goal, but I mean like not a deflected goal like his first goal was for Man United. When he hits that rocket of a shot that he's got and absolutely silences all the haters, that's when the confidence is going to come. That's when the chains are going to be unbuckled and the rust is going to wear off and cause the chains to break, and Weghorst will be free, and he's going to score and score and score. He just needs to get that moment, and hopefully he scores the winner in the Carabao Cup final. But firstly, I hope we win the Carabao Cup final, but it would be amazing for Weghorst to get that winner, because it would just mean so much to him, I think, as well as it would to United fans. Rashford, I'm gonna give him a 7. I was gonna say 6.5, but I am gonna give him a 7, because I feel like Rashford I just think he didn't impact the game at all today, and he got a knock late into the game, and he got took off with like 2 minutes of the 90 minutes to go. So hopefully he's all okay. Scott McTominay was brought on in Rashford's substitution, but yeah, Rashford for me, just he didn't really impact the game enough. But he still, even though he wasn't involved in any goals, I still think that his presence alone worried Barcelona, so he still had an impact, if that makes sense. Garnacho, I'm going to give Garnacho a 7. I felt like he came on, played well. He created a few chances. He had a few chances for himself. He looked dangerous. I don't know what the new hair is all about, but hopefully that isn't the fame going to his head at all, because it would be a shame for him to start this fame hungry and just wanting to be, you know what I'm trying to say. I just hope the fame doesn't go to his head. Who else have we got? We've got Diego Dalot. And for me, I'll give Diego Dalot a 7. I felt like going forward, it was the right decision. Wan-Bissaka just looked very unstable on the ball, and it was the right decision for the few crosses that Dalot made. So yeah, bringing the attacking fullback on was the correct decision to make by Erik ten Hag. Who else have we got? Who else was brought on? We have Scott McTominay. What did McTominay really do? I'll give McTominay a 6. But that's not for him being average. That's just for me. I didn't really notice him in the game at all. I'm pretty sure that's everyone. It was Rashford who went off. It was Weghorst. It was Sancho. And Antony. Yeah, I completely forgot about Antony. Antony for me gets 7.5. I just felt like bring him on as a substitution, instant impact. It was brilliant from Antony. But for me, who do I give a man of the match to? I'm stuck between Fred and Varane. Because as we know, attack wins your games, defence wins your titles. Because if Varane doesn't make that clearance, I'm not making this video right now, and I'm still sat downstairs watching the game and going into extra time, possibly even penalties. But that wasn't the case. I'm going to give Varane my man of the match. I just felt like that he was defensively solid as always, and that goal line clearance was just brilliant. And I've just got to give Varane the man of the match. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below on the match. Let me know your comments. Who was your man of the match? All that jazz. Please keep subscribing. We're currently on, I think it's 573 subscribers or something. So yes, please keep subscribing. We're so close to 600 subscribers. So yes, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.